We'll just crack on.
Okay, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, so this is our new technology, new device. So you see it's after 10 years of experience in Tecar, we are able to make the revolution. This is really the, I'm not increasing the fact, but this is really a revolution. Because with this, we have listened to, as you said, to the customers. They said, okay, these troubleshootings, okay, I have some problems with the connectors. I have this and that. I would like to have that kind of options. I would like to do that. So we have listened to everything, and then we created the Back 4. So there was, when we asked to the engineers, we started with two observations. The first one is, we know that the Tecartherapy is a very good tool for the manual therapy, but when you see all the competitors, Winback also, for the moment, when you use Tecar, you only use one hand, you still have your second hand. So what we said, okay, we want to work with our two hands like we do every day. So that was one first thing that we asked to the engineers. The second observation was about the Tecar definitions. You know what means Tecar? Tecar means transfer, energy, capacitive, and resistive. But nobody is able to do this, capacitive and resistive. It's always capacitive or resistive. But the definition is capacitive and resistive. So we said, okay, we want to work with the capacitive and the resistive at the same time, because if we have our two hands, that will be possible. You know, you are all users, so you know that we always play with the capacitive and the resistive. We switch from capacitive to resistive, and then we go back. So why don't we use it at the same time? And then after that, yeah, as I told you, we made some improvements on the connectors because it's really stronger. Also, we made some easy connection for the electrodes, and on the electrodes are generic. The hand probes, you can switch easily from RET to CET, and it will recognize automatically which electrode you're using. Okay. We change also you will see after you will see the interface. So we totally changed the interface. You can see here, it's like a mixing table. It's a mixing table because you will see that we will use a lot of different frequencies. It's not only the Tecar. I will explain you different other frequencies. So that's why we want it to be very easy, fun to play, to mix these frequencies, you see. And one other thing is, because it's a new product, so you have the Wi-Fi everywhere. So now you have the Wi-Fi also on the machine. The Wi-Fi allows us to do the updates very easy. And also for the after sale, if you have any problem, okay, you call from France. They will have the control directly on your, they can do the diagnosis on your unit and say, okay, no, it's only the cable, it's not the, we don't need to change the unit. So, because they recognize each accessories. So if you have any problem, they can say, no, it's coming only from these electrodes. We just need to change this one. So that's really easier. Yeah, I will explain you after. So just to finish with how we created the Winback Back 4. So the Back 4 is a mix of all these three products. You know, we have the Back 1 or Back 3, which is the Tecartherapy device. The CryoBack is a cryothermal device, but it's also combining the electrotherapy device. On this, the frequencies that we're using in the CryoBack, so that's some medium frequencies. We added it into the Back 4. the high tense, which is our last before the back 4, which is the latest innovation. So this one is a portable device, but in this one you already have the Wi-Fi, and we have the dynamic powering, we call it. So this is something which is calculating always calculating the impedance. So you have the right intensity according to the right impedance. So that's something we developed with the R-Shock, and then we implemented it into the back 4. So in this back 4, we have 4 patents. The first one is about the probes. So I told you it's so you have some intelligent probes, because you can recognize automatically which electrode you have. It's also a remote control, because you can adjust the intensity. Just you tap on your electrodes. You can change the modes directly with your electrodes. You can activate or deactivate the modes. One other big revolution is that you can use 2 capacitive, but without return plate. Because usually you need to use 1 CET on the return plate. Right here you can use your 2 CET, and you don't need the return plate. So that's really easier to use, because you don't need to think about where do I put this return plate, which is only here to close the circuit with the CET. That's always, we all have the same problem. Okay, I need to put this return plate, but I just want to do some capacitive. Okay, don't think about the installation. You treat directly your patient, and you treat it with 2 capacitive. So you cover a larger area, you have a local action with your 2 hands. So this is patented because only Winback can do that.
Especially if you're treating lower back problems, you need a wider area.
Yeah. It's really the good example. When you do all the back, you need to do a large massage. You're not like this, like only 1 hand. Right there you have your 2 hands. So you gain on time, you gain on efficiency. The third patent is about the frequencies. So now we are able to mix 3 frequencies at the same time, because we have the Tecartherapy current, we have the low frequencies that we already have with the, when you click on red plus, you have the low bit and super bit, but I will explain you, we have another low frequencies for all the pain management. And then we also have the medium frequencies for the EMS signal, the electromyostimulation. Right here, it's a real electromyostimulation, not like the muscle twitch that we have with the back 3. So with this, you can work specifically on the pain management, muscle recruitment, and with the high frequency metabolism, pain management, and diathermy. The last patent that we have is dynamic powering. So it offers you a lot of efficiency and safety, because as I told you, you will deliver the right power according to the tissue. So, you know, when you treat your patient, as we said on the afternoon, if I'm like this, then if I move my electrode, I need to compensate. Now you don't need it. If you want to have 30% over there, you put your electrode over there, you still have 30%. So you are more efficient, but you are also safer because you can work in very close, very short distance without any burning issues, because the power will reduce because the machine will see that you are really close. So it's also the impedance, which is calculated. So as we said, I don't know, with someone we were speaking about that, we need to compensate the impedance when you have some people who are fat compared to someone which is really thin, because it's not the same impedance. So that's why the intensity has to be adjusted. Right there, you don't need to play so much with the intensity, because if you have a big impedance, it will force the power. If you have a lower impedance, you will reduce the power. Inside the back 4, we have 4 core. That means we have 4 generators. So it's a very powerful device. It's the most powerful Tecar device that we have. Concretely, it's like this. We have 2 channels, okay? Because, as I told you, we can use 2 CET or 2 RET or 1 CET, 1 RET. Yeah, we always put a little bit French. Always. It's discreet, but when I saw that, I said, why? I'm going to the UK, please. Yeah, so 2 channels, 2 generators, because we have 1 generator for the Tecar current. The high tense is a Tecar current pulsated, okay, like we have on the back 3. And then we have a second generator for the medium frequency. So we have 2 generators, 2 channels, 4 generators inside, okay? So Tecar, you already know, we still have the 3 frequencies, 300 kHz, 500 kHz, and 1 MHz. Same properties, metabolism, pain management, diathermy. The high tense, so the high tense is a high frequency, pulsated. It's the same on the back 3. When we say it's 2 Hz, it's 300 kHz, pulsated 2 times per second, okay? Or 4 times per second when we speak about the super bit, which is the 4 Hz, okay? Right here is the same. We have 2 Hz, 5 Hz, but we have also the 25 Hz. 25 Hz is coming from the air shock, because we noticed that at 25 Hz, which is not only 25 Hz like we have on the complex, it's a high frequency current, Tecar current, pulsated 25 times per second. And with this, we have a very good results on the pain management, because we can saturate the nociceptors. The image is like when you do something like this with your elbow. After that, you have to, it's a reflex. We do that. Why we do that? It's just to saturate the information. Because when you do that, you send a lot of message into your brain, and then you block the signal. That's the gate control, just to block the signal. So that's the same. We bombard the nociceptors at 25 Hz, but 25 Hz of Tecartherapy. That's how we have this immediate pain management. So now we have the possibility to work in acute pain with 25 Hz, or in chronic pain with the 2 Hz and 5 Hz. The third frequency that we have in the back 4 is the high EMS, so EMS electromyostimulation. It's a medium frequency, so we have 1.5 kHz or 4 kHz. We have 2 different frequencies. That's more for you guys, but I know sometimes I can lose some people. So we have focal and radial. Focal for deep muscle recruitment, okay, because we have the contraction, but because it's a medium frequency, we can go directly, easily on these muscles. When you use medium frequency, you can reach deep tissues, but you use a carrier frequency. It's the same as the high tense. The high tense, what it is the high frequency, is the carrying current, and we pulse it at 2 Hz or 4 Hz, okay? So right here, it's the same way to use it. It's a medium frequency, but we pulse it at low frequencies. Yes? So for those who are already in electrotherapy, when you want to have some electromyostimulation, the real electromyostimulation starts at 20 Hz and finish around 80 Hz. After that, it's the tense. Below, it's the most burst. It's for the endorphinic effect. So we will use this range between 20 and 80 hertz, but because it's a medium frequency, it's easier to pass through the skin. That's why we use the medium frequency. In the complex, it's only low frequencies. It's from 20 to sorry? It's 20 to 80 hertz, but yeah. But it's only, they don't use the medium frequency carried into the low frequencies. You see? Why? It's just because maybe 20 years ago or more than that, they were using the medium frequencies, but you need to have a big generator. You need to plug it. If you want to have it on battery, like the complex, it's impossible because you will need a lot of battery. So that's why we put it away and we forgot what was the benefits of the medium frequency, which are really more active for the muscle contraction to reach the deep muscle contractions. And if you see with the complex, it's only superficial. So that's just to explain you why we decided to use that kind of frequencies. But finally, why we decided to use that kind of frequency is because we want to have this real muscle contraction, big muscle contraction. And then we have two different options. We can select for the deep muscles, which are the hardest muscles that we have because it's the proprioceptive muscles. And with our hands, it's always the same. It's difficult to treat that kind of muscles. All the chronic injuries are, the deep muscles are involved. So that's why with this, if you add this signal plus the Tecar, you have this muscle contraction. It's, if you remember my nice draw with my bone, I told you the energy will pass like this and will focus on the bone. But if I have the contraction between my electrode on the bone, I can attract the current on the muscle. So these deep muscles can be reached because we have this contraction before the bone. That's it. So that's the one thing. And the other one, the radial, is more superficial contraction. So we can have a muscle chain contraction. So we will have it to have a drainage, like a pompage, you see? So you have mechanically, you will activate the muscles. And then you will have like a sponge. When you squeeze the sponge, that's hard. So that's the idea, okay? Plus the deep diathermy that we have with the Tecartherapy. So the Tecar X, we call it Tecar X, the hand probes. So it's, I told you, it's you have all these electrodes. And it's really easy. You don't need to screw. You just fix it like this. We tested it a lot of time, like on the kitchen, you know, for the doors. that's exactly what they did. So now the question is, how you Tecar or Tecar? Because that's the joke that we make. Tecar, capacitive or resistive, so like all the competitors. If you want to do the real Tecar, only Back 4 is able to do that, capacitive and resistive. So sometimes when I say that, the question is, okay, but why do I need to use capacitive and resistive? If I switch, I will have the same. No, it's not exactly that, because let's say you have a muscle injury, you use your resistive, the return plate is here, so I have a deep action. I can stimulate for the drainage. With the capacitive, I have a local action to stimulate the metabolism, to engage the healing process. You see, and the other thing that you have to keep in mind is I have two signals. So if I put my two signals finishing on the ground plate, I will accumulate the energy on the second one, you see? Because I have a first one, if I add my CET between these two electrodes, I have a wider effect because I will accumulate the energy coming from the RET. So that's why it's totally different to work in Tecar than in Tecar. So now you can imagine that we have a lot of possibilities because we have a lot of accessories and we have two hands, we have two electrodes. So with this, now we can mix a lot of possibilities also with the frequencies. So we have quicker treatments because we can treat up to 3 body zones at the same time. If I have, it's the capacitive, but. So now I have my two resistive plus the return plate. So I have one stimulation, second stimulation, third one. Okay? So I can treat 3 different areas at the same time. I can focus the energy coming from 2 entry points finishing on 1 return plate. So I will have a double stimulation. So that's why I will be also more efficient. Just to go back on the why it's quicker. So now the treatments are less than 15 minutes compared to the Back 3, which is around 15 to 20 minutes. Right here it's 10, 15 minutes max. If we speak about only the manual treatments. The dynamic power in, also because we deliver the right power. Quicker installation if we speak only about the CET, because I use directly my 2 CET, so I cover a larger area without the return plate. About the efficiency, so I can use the capacitive and resistive at the same time. The 2 entry points, the accumulation of the signal, because as I told you, the second electrode between the resistive and the return plate will accumulate the energy. And then we have the high tense, and then we can decide to use chronic, acute, or to have the dynamic. If we don't know exactly if it's chronic or acute pain, you can use dynamic to scan all these high tense frequencies. The high EMS radial to accelerate the drainage because we can squeeze the sponge in plus of the Tecar. We are really more precise because we have these electrodes which comes from also the air shock. So you know with this one you can trigger specifically the deep tissues, increase faster the diatomic effect because we have all these different electrodes concentrated in a very small surface. The high EMS focal to reach the deep muscles. And also we have 2 independent bracelets. So yeah, that means, because you know, before that we had this splitter. And then when you use the splitter, you have to increase the intensity because you divide the energy. So no more like this. If you ask for 30%, you have 30% on the right hand, 30% on the left hand. You leave one hand, you still have 30% on your hand. Okay. Also, it's possible to put 1 bracelet on the patient, keep 1 bracelet on you. So you close the circuit on your patient, and then you use your bracelet. You have it in the brochure. You use the second bracelet to have a specific action on the wrist, let's say. So you see, all the possibilities are really, really wide. Really easier because inside the machine, not with this version because we will do the updates on Tuesday. And we will have a guide which is inside the machine with all the training book, the protocols, so you won't be lost. It's really easy. You just have to click, and then you have the interface. You have the protocols. Yeah. With the Wi-Fi, you update, and then that's it. Automatic recognition of the accessories. That means when you connect the fixed pad, automatically you have a preset, because you know when you fix the electrodes you need to use the low pulse. So automatically you connect the fixed pad, then you have the low pulse which is already activated, 40%, because we know that usually we don't go more than 40%. If you connect the bracelet, it will disconnect the high EMS, which is really not useful. So you see there are a lot of safeties because it's an intelligent system. And also we have the hand probe. Don't know where is it. Somewhere. You can see it over there on this photo. So you see the return plate is in his hand. Okay, so you replace the large one by a handle probe, and yeah. So you see we added a ring, so you can put some elastic band to do some exercise, because the idea is always to be in movement. So you are really more free to move with that kind of return plate, and then you can imagine that you put an elastic band to have more resistance. In this configuration, you see that's exactly what I was explaining. So one bracelet, one return plate, so the circuit is closed around his wrist, but the therapist can add the second signal to focus the energy and to do some mobilization. So just to finish, to show you all the possibilities. So one body zone is the standard way to use the Tecar, like the back 3 or back 1. One CET, one return plate. Two body zone, two CET without the return plate. On 3 body zone, you add for the CETs, you don't have so much difference between 2 CET or 2 CET plus the return plate. It's just with the return plate you have a little bit more power. That's just the difference. But with the RET, now it's a little bit different, because when you use the RET, 2 RET on the return plate on the same side, you accumulate the energy. If you use your 2 resistive electrodes finishing on the plate, let's say I do like this, my return plate is here. In that case, I will accumulate, focus the energy on the injury, on the specific point, compared to the. So there are another gymnastic, but if you are used to work with the Tecar, that's easy. That just offers you more possibilities. And then with the CET and RET, you see, if you put the CET between the RET and the neutral, you will increase the effect. You have a wider effect with the CET. But if you put the CET above the RET, in that case, it's only CET, RET, because you keep the energy on it. You see the idea? And just to finish, the Back 4 has been designed to stay in the future. I mean, there's a lot of evolution which are already in our mind. It's a constant evolution. We launched it 6 months ago. We already did 3 major updates. So we just have all the feedback from the clients. They say, oh, maybe it's not working well. We prefer to have this, this on the screen or something like that. Okay, we can change. That's really easy. So for that, you download it like on a smartphone. It's exactly the same. So it's really easy. Maybe in a few months, we will be able to do some customization. That means when you switch on the machine, you can have your own physiologistic screen when you switch on. That's just an option that which will be easy to do. You just need to send your logo, and we will be able to have it. New accessories will be launched for the Reeduca mid of October. So a new fascia tool, an aesthetic pack, pelvic floor pack. So we're working on new accessories to fit with these generic electrodes. And next year, we will be able to use the Wi-Fi also to collect a lot of data from the customers, and then we will analyze these data and we will be able to use it. That means first, for sure, it will be easy to have a report each month, each week. You will see, okay, you have used your Back 4 during, I don't know, 2 hours. You have used 60% of CET, 40% of RET. This is the electrode that you use the most. So that's just to give you an idea. But after that, in the second step, we will collect all these data, and then you will be able to see, to compare with the other users. That's something which is more interesting to see, okay, oh, maybe I should use more this electrode because the other are using it. And also, in the electrodes, we have some motor control. So we will be able to see where you are treating. That's the next step. To see exactly, okay, you're treating the elbow, we can give you some presets for the elbow. Or we can guide you, we don't know exactly how we're going to use that kind of information, but let's say you do something like that, you're too quick. We can have like a vibration to tell you, okay, slow down. According to the intensity that you use also. So there's a lot of possibilities, but everything is inside. We just need to collect the data, and then we will be able to do all these things. And also the link with the academy will be reinforced because what I want is to have some advertisers pop up to say, okay, there's a webinar, there's a workshop near to you. When you switch on the machine, okay, I just use my mobile to scan the QR code, and then I can subscribe. You see, so or just to give you, okay, there is something on the cream. You want to buy 4+1 or something like that. That's something we can do easily. And also we want to have some interaction, like you will record, okay, these parameters are really good, that's the one I like for the tennis elbow. Okay, I record the treatments, I send it to the academy, and the experts will receive this, and okay, that's good, we can implement and say, okay, this is a good treatment, a good parameters for the tennis elbow. So that's a lot of things that we can do with this machine. So the evolution is you will keep this machine for a long time. Okay? Yep, that's it. So register and good. Okay?